Hey everyone! Today we are stepping into a story that feels less like a book and more like a half-remembered dream. It's a beautiful, strange journey into memory, absence, and the languages we've forgotten how to hear. This is the Atlas of Unvisited Rooms.
Okay, so let's just dive right in, because the story throws us into the deep end immediately. It doesn't start with a place, but with the lack of a place. This very first line, it tells you everything. We're heading into a world where what's missing is actually the most important thing.
And that's exactly what this is, a journey into absence. This isn't some grand adventure. It's a deeply personal quest that all starts with one little cryptic sentence, found in a letter after our narrator's father passes away. And that one sentence sends him chasing a ghost.
So you have this letter, right? It mentions a woman, someone who supposedly holds a key family secret, but the one thing you absolutely need, the name of the town where she lives, it's just gone. It's not there. So with this one broken compass, he sets off, searching for someone he doesn't know in a town he can't name. And here's where things get, well, really deep. The story makes it clear this isn't just about finding a town on a map. It's about what it means to search for something you can't even define. It's this idea that maybe every journey, every quest we go on is really just a search for something we feel is missing inside us.
So he finally tracks down this house, half hidden by these old cypress trees, the one he thinks he was meant to find. But there's no woman waiting for him. There's no big revelation. Instead, what he finds is an empty room. A room that feels less like a place and more like a question mark, defined entirely by the powerful, almost physical absence of who used to be there.
Okay, so inside this house, he starts finding things, what the story calls the correspondence of dust. And these aren't clues that solve anything. Oh no, each one just pulls him deeper and deeper into the mystery of this abandoned room.
First up, he finds these stacks of old papers. And they're covered in writing, but it's a language he's never seen before. What's so bizarre is that he recognizes the alphabet, it's the one we use, but the words themselves are just nonsense. It's like seeing bricks but they're built into a wall you can't possibly get through.
Then he finds this. Tucked inside a drawer, a faded photograph of a woman, probably from the 1800s. She has this look on her face you just can't quite read. And on the back, there's just one word, faintly penciled in, unremembered. Who is she? And what does it even mean for a person to be unremembered?
And lastly, there's maybe the weirdest clue of all. Sitting on the desk in a little dish is a handful of these wrinkled, teardrop-shaped seeds. They're from some plant he's never seen. It's this tiny symbol of life and potential, just sitting there in a room that feels totally dead.
So months go by. He's back home, trying to forget about it all. And then, unstamped letters start appearing in his mailbox. They begin with this absolutely chilling line. Someone was there, watching him. A witness who says that all those clues he found, they mean something far bigger than he could ever imagine. The mystery isn't dead, it's very, very much alive. And right here, the whole story just cracks wide open. You realize this was never just about one forgotten woman or some little family secret. No, this is about the ghost of an entire people.
The person writing the letters finally explains what was on those papers. It wasn't gibberish. It was the last surviving artifact of a lost language, spoken by a people who completely disappeared from history. But, and this is key, this language didn't just die out. The letter writer says it was stolen.
The key to this whole impossible idea lies in something called the ceremonies of unremembering. Turns out, these people had rituals where they used a sacred plant to deliberately and surgically remove memories. Think about that, a culture that had actually mastered the art of choosing what to forget.
And the letters lay out the whole horrifying crime. A priest decided their language was dangerous, so he learned about their sacred ceremonies, and he weaponized their own rituals against them. He performed the ceremony on the entire population at once. They just woke up one morning, and their entire culture, their language, their stories, even their own names, was gone from their minds.
This is the absolute core of the tragedy. It's a theft so perfect it erases any evidence it ever happened. It's a kind of violence that doesn't leave a scar on the body, but a hole in the soul. I mean, how do you even mourn something when you don't know you lost it in the first place? So all of this brings us to the climax, this moment of incredible, terrifying possibility. Armed with this knowledge, and holding a single seed from that very same plant of forgetting, a protagonist goes back to that house among the cypress trees. And there, he finally meets her, the letter writer,
an old woman who is the last living guardian of this entire stolen history, and she tells him his journey isn't over. He's not just there to learn the story, he's here to be part of it. It's time, she says, for a new ceremony, a ceremony of restoration.
And this is the massive question he's facing, because this ritual isn't about forgetting. It's about attempting a kind of remembering that seems impossible, to reach back and reclaim experiences that were wiped out generations before you were ever even born.
The ceremony itself is, well, it's unbelievably simple. They take the seeds from the plant he found, the descendant of the plant of forgetting, and they eat them. That's it. But this simple act is like turning a key. It unlocks a door not to a personal memory, but to what she calls the archive. It's like accessing the source code of an entire people.
And what happens next is just staggering. He's flooded with memories that are not his. He sees the village. He hears the lost language being spoken fluently. He feels the warmth of the fire as his ancestors danced around it. The past wasn't gone. It was just buried. And this was the key to digging it up.
But believe it or not, the story doesn't end with that incredible ceremony. Restoring this one language actually opens his ears to something much, much bigger, and it gives him a whole new purpose in life. His whole role in this story gets flipped on its head. He becomes what's called a carrier. He's now tasked with traveling the world, planting seeds from this sacred tree to help other people, other descendants of lost cultures, access their own forgotten histories. His personal little quest has just become this global mission of restoration. And this new mission leads him to an ancient monastery where the monks have only one practice. They just listen to the forest. And it's here that he has his final, mind-bending revelation. He realizes that the human language he helped restore is just one kind of language. The forest has its own. A language that can't be stolen because it doesn't live in our minds. It lives in the connections between things, in the constant cycle of growth and decay.
And this is where the story leaves us, really. It turns the whole thing right back on us. We all carry absences, don't we? Stories that were lost, family histories that got erased over time. The story asks us to think about those empty spaces, and it challenges us to listen, not just for the human voices we've lost, but for all the other languages the world is speaking, all the time, if we just learned how to tune in.